Hey, to all my hustlers out there, it's Eleanor back with the Entrepreneur Hustles 21-day takeoff for 2022, where we are talking about the habits that we can start building at the beginning of 2022 to make sure that we have a phenomenal, well planned, well purposed year. And today we are talking about our time. How are we using our time? Are we using it to the best of its potential, to the best of our ability? Or are we just kind of gliding through, skating through, understanding that and counting on the possibility that we will have a tomorrow to wrap things up, to make the next big leap, to do something that we didn't particularly foresee ourselves doing, or taking the next big leap of faith? Lots of times we can assume that we are being good stewards with our time because we are busy bees. And we say, at the end of the day, I'm exhausted. I wake up at 6 and I go to bed at 10 and I spend the whole day running around. So I must be a good steward of time. I must be using my time well. And I want to begin to see the harvest from my labor, the fruits of my labor, because I'm always busy. I'm always working. But being busy does not make us necessarily a good steward of time. Nowadays, there are so many distractions. There are so many ways to lose focus, to not utilize our time the best way, to really just live in a distracted world. And that's what the phone and social media is very easily willing to help us do. So we have to take the time to do the assessment on if we are being a really good steward of our time, or if we're living in this distracted world and not laser focusing our time so it can work for us instead of we lose it and lose it in the lost fields of fun and distraction. So, how are you accounting for your time? How do you account for your time any given day? If you're a lawyer like me, you may be using a program to say, I've worked here for this many hours or worked there for that many hours. But if you want to be intentional and if you want to have a good reminder yourself, I would recommend you start with a daily time calendar. In 15-minute increments, what are you doing with your day? It may sound like an easy question. Oh, I work from 8 to 5. But when you really break it down into small increments, you may quickly begin to realize that that whole 8 hours isn't really exactly spent as you intended to spend. You may be talking with friends. You may be daydreaming. You may be catching up on what happened on Reels or social media since you last were able to watch, or just responding and interacting with your friends or family, or needs from your staff or your clients. So, although I don't doubt that you're working hard, your time and how it's used cannot just be broadly swept under the I'm working rug or I watch TV for this rug. What are you really doing? So, those increments give you an opportunity to really assess how you use your time and, from there, make improvements. See where your time is being underutilized. Are you wasting time? Are you begin to understand, hey, I spend a lot of time on my phone, but I don't need to, and how you can maximize your work time, because we always want to work smarter, not harder. So just committing yourself to 10 hours a day of work, you may find in your 15-minute increment breakdown that you really only spend 4 power hours of doing the work. So when you free yourself and block your time, you're able to, one, come in purposeful, intentional, getting your job done in a minimal amount of time, but also it frees your time up for some of the things that may be the distractions that you want: reading books, enjoying your friends or family, getting out to do your favorite events or extracurricular activities. That may be a better use for your time. You may feel more rested, more purposeful when you better direct your time. But you have to know what you're doing before you make that direction. So breaking that time out into 50-minute increments, and then having the heart and being brave enough and not accepting excuses when you do that review. Okay, to be honest with myself, I am wasting some time, or 4 hours in the morning I'm groggy, or when I try to work from midnight to 2 a.m., nothing really happens. My work isn't productive. Take the time to be honest with yourself on that assessment and see how you can better utilize your time. It is the one thing that you cannot get back. And so, in that sense, it is our most precious resource. Don't waste it. Don't misclassify it. See what you really do, areas where you can improve, and take hold in charge of your time by doing so. That's our tip for today. Make sure you join us at entrepreneurhustle.co or check us out on YouTube to catch up on our 21-day takeoff.